Hello, my name is Mark and this is an ongoing series, and this one's about the awakening. Okay, people have to, or at least the bar is being approached to have an awakening, and it's being resisted greatly. Okay, now because they are in full manipulation of dark forces. Okay, the dark forces were found in the libraries of the Nineveh, found in about 1860. They say they were all in tatters. You know, all these beautiful tablets, all this great writing, were all mumbled, jumbled, and not readable. Okay, they could never put them back together. It's a big lie. What they found were the keys to how to work dark forces. And even back then, they were well aware that this was part of a prophecy of the men of the Nineveh, okay? And it gave birth to people like Albert Pike. And these dark forces really are prevalent today, and I just simply, you know, there's this guy out there called a doom and gloom, a guy called Michael Cesarian, okay? Now, he is the biggest source of this being done through some kind of worldwide machinery now, because he points to experiments where they do it on individuals, sorry individuals. And it's self-evident that scientists or psychiatrists have been playing with the mind. There's an entire section of 120 kids in Canada who are fully documented of where they selectively removed certain parts of the frontal lobotomy, you know, selective frontal lobotomies. It goes back, you know, but these experiments were done, but it's the force that's being applied is a blunt instrument called evil, okay, and it's destroyed every society going. David Icke, you know, tones down Caesarians, are, you know, blunt, you know, mechanism things, but it's still there. Okay, now Michael, at least David Icke, at least he talks and bumps into these things of the cosmic conscience, and that there's something out there that's very powerful that's going to awaken us, and he bumps all into it, and he doesn't see what I see is obvious, that he's talking about upholding God's creation and the force that would be unleashed there. Now, if I try to get a hold of this guy, it can't be done. Okay. Now, another guy is Jordan Maxwell. Now, Jordan Maxwell talks about the saying, we need to be liberated by a thought, by an idea, something greater, something that it's an evolutionary leap, and all of this talk. And he's doing everything except say he's upholding God's creation. You know, the only thing missing in his statement is that in actual fact, in reductionism, he's upholding God's creation. Okay. Strivers are, these are all examples of people who excel in what they strive for. Okay. And they are also prime examples of their message would be more powerful if they knew about it. Now, why don't they know about it? Well, basically, I think I'm down to like 100, maybe 150 people on the planet who actually follow what I'm up to. And that's the way it is. It's supposed to be a big secret and cause a tidal wave of love when it's released. That's part of the lore. The lore says that the message has to be never expressed. Okay, and the only way prior to the internet that would have been possible is to say you read every book in the world. and you never found a reference to it. Now, no one could have said that. But with the net, you just type in upholding creation, and I'm the only guy who's really on topic, aside from a guy called Herman Dooyeweerd, which he's part of the prophecy as well. Now, what can I say? There's guys like Art Bell, who 4 years ago, good friends of mine, who were on the independent list of people who could contact Art Bell and would get answers, okay? And he asked them at the time, do you know anything about Mark Boyer, what Mark Boyer's doing, da-da-da-da-da? And Art Bell at the time said, we can't talk. Yes, they did. But they couldn't talk about me because of the drug issue, okay, the marijuana-related issues, okay. And the reality is Alex Jones and all Chuck Norrie and all those guys never, ever, ever talk about drugs, okay. Any of them, you know, we potheads need not feel picked on. They simply don't. It's like taboo subjects, and these broadcasters are held to some understanding that they really can't talk about me because they might be cut off now. The reality is there's a prophecy out there where in Galatians where it says, I wish those agitators would just go the extra distance. And the reality is it's upholding God's creation is the unifying force to everything good. Once the news of the new covenant, which is what I'm saying it is released, it's said that in Luke 12, that anyone who says anything bad about the message will simply never be forgiven, okay, is by the Spirit, okay? In other words, you won't be blessed with the message, okay? And so it's a rigged deck. And the reality is it's really, really hard to say anything bad about upholding God's creation because it's void of evil. The phrase is literally void of evil. It really is the truth that sets us free. It's an empowerment. By upholding God's creation, we will know true godliness. It's if the message gets released, it's a 1 Timothy thing, where it will be entrusted on a body of people to deliver the message. And I'm convinced that that's the bar, as opposed to the churches, okay? Throughout this endeavor, the churches have not been responding, although they clearly know that the message is this. Why they do this, it comes down to I am not to judge, because they really are in stupor, sent by God, not by Satan, by God. And there is an entire generation or three who want to be punished. And on the belief that God will choose all those he punishes, or he punishes all those he chooses. And either way, it upholds this belief that until the bitter end, they will be stuck in stupor. And that means on the last day they will either snap out of it or they won't. And anyone who calls it evil for me to push what I believe are buttons that are essential in this is evil. And I'll follow this by a video on what I have to do this week in regards in their response to the courts. It's been 1 month since my decision in Alberta was skated and sidetracked. And the reality is the lawless one will continue to hold back until the lawless one is taken out of the way. And I have to resume and push those buttons, and I'll take that up on another video. Thank you very much.